Hey folks, Twisted Christian, Julius here. Gonna give you an update on Zion Oil and Gas, and I apologize that I wasn't unable to get my last video up earlier, and I was having issues with my computer and the sound exporting when I'm finished completing a video. So now I have that issue resolved, so I'll be back making videos. I've already made some other videos. There's no point of me editing those and putting those out there because the news is already out there. Okay, so currently, right now, there are no updates from Zion Oil and Gas on the SEC, Twitter, or on their website. So there are no operational updates. I really don't expect an update till at least on the day that the rig arrives, and maybe a couple days after that at the most. I do expect some type of update that the rig has arrived. So that's what we look forward to. That's on Tuesday, the 27th. So it will arrive, and sadly, because of what took place over the last couple days to Zion Oil and Gas, and as you guys noticed, the stock was sitting around 64 cents, and it ended up going down to 51 cents, where I show where that's where it closed out at. And from what I understand, that there was some fake news that was put out that apparently the ship that had the rig on it was sunk by Iran. And we know that was fake news. All right, so but it caused a panic sell. So apparently this fake news was posted in the Weeble community board, and so a lot of people began to sell off. And whoever did that will probably get into a lot of trouble. But it also goes to show, this whole security risk thing, because some people said that the rig has already arrived, that it's already there, and because of a security issue, you see like what happened with this stock, and them putting out the news that it's coming during this time period, which is going to give the enemies of Israel opportunities to try to do something. And so obviously somebody took it upon themselves to put out fake news out there to either hurt the stock or to try to drive the price down. And that's, first of all, it's a shame, but you know what? We will, regardless of whatever happens or whatever takes place, we know the rig is coming. We know they're going to set it up. We know they're going to drill. Regardless of any delays, it's going to happen at some point where things are going to really be moving, and the stock is really going to outperform in the long run, in my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor. This is my opinion. So that's why you always want to do your research. You do have to be careful of what you do find on the boards. And so whoever did this, obviously people took that as real news, and they began to sell off. And for those people who were watching out, you guys, some of you probably did make some money because maybe you did see it start to go down. You sold off, and then now you're able to buy back in at a lower rate. And for a lot of us, that is more difficult because some of us, we do work, we do have jobs, and we can't always be in front of the computer. In the time that you can be, you have to be alert and watch, because you want to take advantage of these dips that do happen, because these dips are going to come often. It's just the way that's just the way stocks operate. They're going to go up, they're going to go down, they're going to go back up. And so you have to be prepared to be able to, that's why you have to really learn how to, to do your trading so you can take advantage of those dips when they do happen. Because we're all trying to transition from going to a job and not going to a job, right? That's what we're trying to get to, not working a job. So we're going to have to learn how to trade. For those of you who still don't know, you've only learned the basics, go out there to keep learning. Learn how to paper trade. You can learn by paper trading, and a lot of brokers do offer paper trading where you can learn how to trade, because that's going to be important in the long term, and that's for the wealth transfer and what's coming down the road with all these new energy sources and new opportunities to invest. And eventually you're going to have to learn whether you like it or not if you want to keep taking advantage. Now, when it comes to the ship arriving, we know that it's on schedule to arrive on the 27th. Now, we haven't received any updates of any delays. I think that if there was a delay, they would have let us know. If it was maybe more than a few days delay, maybe they they wouldn't have maybe had to say anything. But right now, just looking at the ship's schedule for the port there in Israel, all we're going to be doing is just looking for the ships that are supposed to come in, and whether or not if they all particularly show up. And there's a lot of ships that are coming on, and we don't know exactly which ship it is. I'm sure for some of you, you can do the research, and maybe you'll be able to pin it down if the ship has been in the Romania port on the 21st. So I have tried to look into it a little bit, but I didn't want to spend a whole lot of time, hours and hours, and it's a lot more work because it's a lot harder to research the Romania port than it is the Israeli port. And of course, going on the Twitter, one of the things I did that was interesting that I did see is that they did give a shout out to the NBA for investing in Zion Oil. So I'm pretty sure that the NBA has some type of investment fund that they go invest in other stocks and companies and so forth. So maybe they went ahead and did invest in Zion Oil, and I'm not sure where those reports are at. I'm not sure if they have to do them monthly, but maybe somebody could do some research on that to see how, what that is. That there's a lot more interest taking place in Zion Oil, and you're going to see that more and more. And as you see the price go up and as they get ready, you're probably going to see a lot of people starting to talking about you're going to see a lot more probably institutions buying into Zion Oil once they know that things are set up and they see the price going up and they know that it's, they see what we see. So yeah, first beware of just any kind of news. The only news that I'm really going to be looking for right now is just anything that what Zion Oil is talking about, right? So we just go by their updates. We can speculate, and Tuesday is not that far away. So we just have to be patient, and we just have to wait. A lot of people panic sold. So the people who sold, a lot of those people who sold, a lot of their funds probably won't even settle until Monday, and then you're going to have to transfer those funds over back to your bank account, and then submit a deposit to your E-Trade or TD Ameritrade, whatever you do, and then you have to wait anywhere from 2 to 4 days for that deposit to go into your bank so that you could turn around and buy more. So that's during that time period, who knows where the stock is going to be at that particular time. So that's one of the reasons why I have my Robinhood up above $4, just for the simple fact that if I miss it, it's going to get sold off. But then also too, if I see an opportunity where I don't think we're going to see anything for a while, then maybe I'll be able to sell and transfer those funds. So that's all we're going to look for. We're just going to look for the news from Zion Oil. Everything else is speculation. Some speculation can cause the price of the stock to go up or down, especially as we saw some fake news come out and you saw the damage that it did. So could you imagine if something like that if there was a major delay, you would see the price of the stock go down. So say for instance, one of the things is, let's say if Zion Oil does release an operational update where there is a delay, right? Well, guess what? People are going to sell off. So then you need to be in the position where, okay, if the stock is at 60 cents, do I go ahead and sell off all my stocks, and then when everybody gets done selling off because of the delay, then you're able to go back in and purchase more stocks at a lower price. So that's if a delay comes, and if you're trading like that. That's just an example. And so those are the things that we may have to face down the road as well. And say if their stock is up to like $4 or $5 and they're supposed to be drilling, right? And then there's a delay, right? And they announce that there's a delay. Well, you might see that stock go from $5 to $2.50. We may see some dips like that. And so again, it's sad what happened with the fake news, and it just goes to show that anything can happen. And hopefully maybe these dates are just something they just put out there and just to throw everybody off because it's a security issue. It wouldn't surprise me now because of what happened with the fake news concerning Zion Oil. It wouldn't surprise me if the drill was already there. Not saying it is, but we know at least we should expect to hear something at least a day or two after it's arrived. If we don't hear anything for like a week, I'd be really, really disappointed that we didn't get any news. So all the news that we can go off by is what Zion Oil says, and hopefully at least no longer than 48 hours we hear some news that the rig has arrived. And then we look forward to this week, and we'll just see what happens and see what takes place, and hopefully by Thursday we'll hear something. So folks, I thank you for listening, and God bless, stay safe, and with that being said, Twisted Christian out.